Show titles! Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen, here in the studio, and you at home as well. Welcome to the show. Why were we pretending to be from a science fiction TV film? Why were we?
I don't know.
No, I haven't a clue either. But all will be revealed fairly soon. Later on the programme, we will be debating whether or not the new bill that's about to be put before Parliament, the Protection of Wild Mammals Bill, is a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I think it's a good thing because it would stop atrocities like this. Right, okay, now that was a piece of film from the League Against Cruel Sports, and we'll be finding out whether or not people can actually call that entertainment and fun a little later on. Before we do that, please would you welcome a little light relief on the programme tonight, and for those of you sitting at home on your own with the lights dulled, and I'm talking primarily to men, but not always, behave. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Kooki! I thought we were cleaning this up. I thought we were... Up here. Stand up there. This is clean? Goodness sake. That's not very nice at all, is it? What's this black thing in front of you here? Don't say a word. It's a microphone. You were told last week. Hold it.
Okay, hold it nice and close.
Michael says your hair looks nice, but he's very into
Michael.
And could you stop? That's
Michael loves me,
that's why. I have bruises all over my arm from you leaning on me. Right, the competition, you get me nervous, you see. When you're standing that close to me, you'll get me very, very nervous. I'll start fidgeting, right? I notice you've had lots of letters as well this week.
Have I again?
Yeah,
I haven't received any yet.
No, you're not. We're tearing them up as soon as they come in. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Please.
Bum,
OK, competition winner, Barry Austin from Sidcup in Kent, is on his way to the Canaries or the Mediterranean fairly soon. And if you would like a chance of winning a
holiday?
Yes, would you stop that, please? A holiday for two people in either the Canaries or the Mediterranean. The choice is entirely yours. All you have to do is answer a competition. We have been told that the questions are getting too easy, so we have, I'm afraid, had to make them... Do you mind not coughing when I'm on? You're not in the House of Commons now.
I'm sick.
You're sick?
I'm sick.
OK, you will be.
We knew that, didn't we?
We did. We knew that, yes. Is he sharing the same dressing room as you at the moment?
I won't let him in.
Yeah.
All right, OK.
We had to use gaffer tape last week.
No.
Yes, OK, please. Could I do the competition and we could get on? Right. OK, which of the following is not a mammal, all right? It's difficult, but which of the following is not a mammal? You've got to ring this number. You have until midnight on Sunday to ring. Is it A?
Does that say a black ring? I can't read that.
That says a black bird.
Oh, does it? Well,
right.
Who wrote that? Did you write that?
I wrote that, yes. Is it A, a blackbird, B, a whale, or
a
C...
ballet dancer.
Or a ballet dancer, yes. Which of those is not a mammal? Fairly straightforward. 0891 48 49 50 until midnight on Sunday, and you could be winging your way to the holiday of a lifetime. OK, now, a little entertainment for you. Why on earth were Jerry and I pretending? We can't use the name of what we were doing, really, because it was... But we were trying to enact a bit from one of the Star Wars films. And the reason, because our first guest tonight is a man who has appeared, I think, in all three of them. Was all three of them, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, all three of them. And he is the biggest film star that we have ever had on the James Whale Show, and we are very, very proud to present tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, Mr. Kenny Baker! Well done, Kenny.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Did you see my deliberate mistake?
Well, I'm tone deaf. I didn't notice it, but I don't...
I did.
You did? Here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
It's a vibraphone.
It's a what?
A vibraphone.
Oh, a vibraphone.
Yeah.
I was going to say, she'd have
Because
to
when
be
you hit
fairly
the
big,
note, you see, it
wouldn't
goes...
Yeah.
That's why they call it a vibraphone.
Kenny, thanks for coming on the programme.
My
You
pleasure.
were in all Star Wars movies.
I was.
There's talk about doing another one.
Yeah.
And you going to be in it?
Well, I hope so.
Yep.
I'm going to San Francisco next week, meeting George Lucas in a big convention there.
You're
So,
presenting him with something as well.
I'm going to present him with something, yes, in honour of all his work for charity. You know, he's given a lot of money away for charities.
Uh-huh.
So,
I don't like to ask you this question, but I'm going to. I mean, being
thought
that you appeared in these 3 huge box office movies,
Yes.
do you make an enormous amount of money?
I made quite a bit of money, yes. Paid a lot of tax. Bought a new house, bought a big Mercedes, you know, had a pool.
Good, good.
Every star should have a pool.
Of course they should. Of course they should. Of course they should.
So that's what I did, and then I had the taxman knocking on the door.
And that's what you're off doing cabaret around.
I'm going to America next week. I'm going to Palm Springs on a sort of a live audition, hopefully for a show in Palm Springs. Back, and then I'm going to Tenerife for 3 weeks. Back and then down to the Isle of Wight for the summer season.
You also do quite a lot of talking about dwarfism as well, don't you?
Well, I
And
don't
slightly
talk about it much,
but you're prepared to sort of actually address the
about it.
issue that,
Yes,
that people...
of course.
Because I was approached, I don't know how long ago it was now, it must be 3 or 4 years, to do a thing on dwarf throwing, which I thought was the
that's
most
terrible.
tasteless thing I have ever seen.
I know. I went to Australia, I went to New Zealand, and we landed in Perth, and then we went across to Brisbane, to Auckland. And on the way, a lot of rugby players got on at Perth, going across to Brisbane. And I'm walking down the yard, go to the men's room or something, and a guy shouts, "Hey, dwarf, how far do you want me to throw you?" You know, and I, yeah, you know, so I went back and had a few words with this guy, but he was fine, he was just having a joke with me, really. He didn't mean it nastily.
I mean, are people sort of embarrassed sometimes when they actually find it?
They're more embarrassed than I am, yes.
Yeah.
It happens mainly in supermarkets with mothers and kids, you know, and the kids say, look at that little man, you know. And the mother goes, shh, be quiet, psh, and whacks them round the ear, you know. And all they're saying is they've seen the little man, which they've seen, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it doesn't embarrass me, but I think the mothers are to blame, mainly.
I mean, a number of dwarfs... There's a difference between dwarfs, isn't there?
Midgets.
And midgets.
Well, let's put it this way. And Ronnie Corbett was nearly a dwarf, a midget. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ronnie Corbett's a small man, right? If he was a bit smaller, he'd be a midget, because he's perfectly in proportion, but smaller. Yeah. And that is what a midget is, really. Perfectly as a normal human being, but smaller.
Not dissimilar to Jerry Hayes.
That's right, like Jerry. But I'm a bit of both. I'm like in proportion with my legs and my body, but my arms and my hands, I got these fingers of Walt Disney.
Right.
See, for playing Dopey in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like,
do you ever get depressed? Last point, I don't want to leave on a low, but it's interesting. I mean, David Rappaport...
Yeah, poor old David.
And another guy, and I can't remember his name now, Vincenzi, I can't remember anyway.
No.
Committed suicide.
Herbert Sanchez.
That's right, yeah.
From Here Come the Plane.
That's right.
Yeah.
They committed suicide.
They did. Now, I don't know why. I mean, he was very, very deep, David. We were together with the Time Bandits.
That's right.
6 of us. But he was always a little bit aloof. He was an actor. We were just, as far as he was concerned, we came out of the woodwork when they wanted little people, although we didn't. But that's what he gave the impression, and that he was the actor and he was one above. And he was a little bit aloof, but, I mean, he went to the States on the strength of Time Bandits, and then he did L.A. Law, and he was very, very good, and I thought, he's cracked it. He's going to make a fortune in the States.
There's no soap opera that has put a dwarf in yet, is there?
Well, you see, they don't make parts for dwarfs, do they? I think they should do sometimes.
It's a jolly good point. Maybe they'll watch and maybe they will do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kenny Baker! Thank you, Kenny. OK, now, we've had music from Kenny tonight. Let's carry on with the music. And this is a band that you will never have seen before on TV, I don't think, because they haven't performed on television before. And they're called Strange Attractors. Strange Attractors. And this is their number, which is entitled Big Magnets! Let's go!
Big magnets. We're all strangely attracted to a big magnet. Though we're poles apart, big magnets. Let's all get together, gonna make one big magnetic heart. Hey, big magnets. We're sweeping in the fields, big magnets. Harvesting the surreal, big magnets. They got a plus and a minus and tiny little magnetic eyes. You don't know that you was born till you survive a magnetic storm. You don't know it, but since you was born, you've been blitzed by a meteor storm. Hey, big magnets. Sticking together, big magnets. Going round forever, big magnets. They got a plus and a minus and tiny little magnetic eyes. They got tiny little magnetic eyes. Oh yeah. They got magnetic iron eyes. Whoa! Electric music just blew up. You're right. You got a guitar. You got a sitar. You got a koran. You got magic little boots on. Magic little boots. Let's go. Big magnets. I am strangely attracted to a big magnet. Though we're polar poles apart, big magnets. Let's all get together, gonna make one big magnetic heart. Gonna make one big magnetic heart. Come on, make one big magnetic heart. Hey, yeah. Hooey, 23, and we're gone. Solid gone.
Strange Tractor is so warm in here. We have to. We're perspiring. Are you perspiring? It's got nothing to do with you being here. Strange Please don't do that. Strange Tractors and don't do that. It's doesn't make me look good.
Like
They probably do. Strange Tractors and Big Magnets. We're back after the break. But please, the competition 0891 48 49 50. Which of the following is not a mammal? A blackbird, a whale, or a ballet dancer? A ballet dancer. Phone lines are open till midnight. I think that's difficult enough, don't you? Yes, very nice. I believe that weighs a prime. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Now, tonight we will carry on in our, I hope, our crusade to make animals' welfare on this planet a little better. I have to come out of the closet and admit to you that in years gone by, I have hunted rabbits and I've been to hunts and things like that. But I did some years ago see the light, and I decided that wasn't really the sort of thing that you could do to have fun. Now, I'm telling you what my views are, and normally I do, but I'm going to back out of this discussion in a few moments because I think that would be fair. 3 years ago, a bill to ban hunting failed in the Commons by just 12 votes. That's all. On the 3rd of March, John McFall, who's here with us tonight, is launching his Wild Mammals Protection Bill. It comes before the House for its second reading, not too far away from us now. And here to do verbal combat on the proposed bill, please would you welcome, first of all, John McFall, MP for Dunbarton. And Nick Herbert, political advisor of the British Field Sports Society. That was fairly fair. Now, they've both brought along a little bit of VT, is that you over there? Fine, to help their cases. First of all, as John is putting forward the bill, this is the bit of VT that he would like us to show. It's self-explanatory. It's coming up on your screen now. Here we are. That's sport in this country. It still is sport. And, John, your bill seems to me to be greatly overdue. We don't allow cockfighting. I mean, it does go on. I know we don't allow dog fighting anymore or bear baiting. Why has it taken so long?
Well, bear baiting was made illegal in 1835. 160 years later, I would like to think that introducing this bill to prevent the barbarous practices such as fox hunting, deer hunting and hare coursing, that we will enter the 21st century to call ourselves civilised by at last outlawing these practices. And next Friday in the House of Commons on a free vote, I'm giving members of Parliament the opportunity from either side of the House of Commons to vote on this practice.
Why every other time that this bill has come up before the House have you lost? I mean, quite often it's by a small margin, but it has always been voted down.
It's a very influential lobby in the countryside sports that's been put up against this. And the last time it was in 1992, 3 months before the election, and only lost by 12 votes, as you indicated. But since then, there has been a change in that quite a number of new Conservative MPs have come in who are less shire, and the Cabinet now are being allowed a free vote as far as I know, and two or three government ministers have approached me and told me that on the 3rd of March they'll be voting with me.
OK, before we carry on with this, let's bring Nick in. Now, Nick, you have brought a piece of VT along as well, and this, again, is self-explanatory. Let's look at this.
The fox worries here every spring. Goes with lambs every spring. This last three lambing times, we lost over 70 lambs by the fox. We lost 25 this spring, just gone.
The fox, therefore, is a cunning and highly successful animal. Left unchecked, its numbers and the damage it does would increase dramatically.
Now, the hunting lobby, I mean, it seems, Nick, obviously you're aware of public feeling at the moment, but the hunting lobby seems to now have had its time, don't you think?
No, I don't. I mean, these bills have been introduced nearly every year since 1948, and I think that there's a lot of misleading propaganda about the sports, but we've always been able to hold the line, because at the end of the day, we've always been able to show, when you put the facts above the emotion, that the animals concerned would not be better off if hunting were to go. Now, you've just seen, can I just finish? You've just seen the film of the farmers saying that the foxes take lambs. They're probably taking something the order of 500,000 lambs a year. We don't hear too much complaint about that. But the point is that the farmers will shoot the foxes or trap them or do something else if hunting is discontinued. So there's no net welfare gain by abolishing it.
Say?
500,000.
500,000. I find that difficult to believe, that 500,000 lambs a year are killed by... Is that about...?
Well, I have literature from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries which says that foxes at best are only responsible for 5% of the lamb population being lost. So that is not the case whatsoever in lambs. And this is from the Ministry of Agriculture themselves. And they've also stated that in terms of fox hunting itself, that is no method of reducing the fox population. That is not the main way. So when we have when we have the fox hunting, it doesn't reduce the population and they're not responsible for the lambs, as indicated by the Ministry of Agriculture. So those arguments are false.
Can I just reply to that? Because
well, briefly,
the figure which John McFall gives, 5%, is in fact higher than the figure I was working on, which is 2%. 2% of national lamb production, there are 25 million lambs, is 500,000 lambs.
Okay.
If you're going to go for 5%, good, because that means that over 1 million lambs are being taken every year.
Let me just, both of you, let's forget about whether or not lambs are the issue, because to me they're not. If you get a kick, and it has to be a kick because it's something you do for enjoyment, to chase animals around the countryside and have them pulled to pieces, you say it's humane. I've been there. I certainly don't think it's humane. What are you going to do if this bill goes through? Will you accept it and then find something else to do Saturday and Wednesdays, or not?
If the bill were to become law, of course I would accept it. I would abide by the law. There would be appalling consequences in the countryside, but it won't become law. You've heard that there's this so-called parliamentary majority against hunting, but only a quarter of the last House of Commons voted against it.
I'm sure the majority of views in this country is against hunting. I mean, I know you have some fairly stalwart supporters of hunting in this country, but the majority of people... I mean, is anybody here in the audience in favour of hunting things for fun? No, I mean, I haven't asked them before.
Well,
oh, there's one at the back, yes. Well, I might have imagined you look like it as well.
Well, it's not necessarily a representative sample, and yes, we recognise that public opinion is hostile to hunting, and we have to address that. I think this is an urban-rural issue. If you go to the rural areas, if you go into the uplands, talk to the farmers, talk to the people that take part, they have a very different view, and it is because it is permanently misrepresented.
Well, it's not, and I live in, if you like, in the uplands, but the fact of the matter is that you can't justify doing this for fun.
I most certainly can do it.
Could you do that for me tonight, please?
I enjoy going hunting and I enjoy watching the hounds work. To suggest that I enjoy seeing an animal torn apart, which was your description...
But that's what you do. That's the ultimate in it.
The animal may be eaten after it's killed. But that is the same as saying... The logic is the same as suggesting that a fisherman enjoys killing the fish. No, he doesn't. Of course, he enjoys the challenge of trying to catch the fish. That is a very important distinction. But the point is, what would happen to the countryside, what would happen to the animals concerned if these sports were to be abolished? You showed a film of a hare being coursed. That's been done since the ancient Egyptians. But the absurdity of this bill is that it would make it a crime to course a hare with a greyhound, but it would not be a crime to course a rabbit with a greyhound. So you start creating absurd legal anomalies.
Clear that up, John.
My bill would make it against the law to cruelly inflict torture on animals. And what I am doing in part, is hoping to raise the status of wild animals to the same status as domestic animals. We're not allowed to kick cats. Why are we allowed in this day and age to throw petrol over foxes, burn them alive, tie or nail rabbits to wood, and it's not an offence? The RSPCA has a documentary evidence of that, and there's nothing we can do to make that law.
Okay,
And the fact of the matter, James,
you can't be against that, can you?
No,
You
I
must
can't.
support that.
No, I would agree with that.
Well, support my bill.
No, because your bill contains other things as well. But the first clause in your bill, the apparent objective of that, to stop peculiar things being done to animals.
What do you mean apparent objective?
Well, we have to look at what the wording, the actual effect would be. But if it is indeed to do the things you claim it is to do, then we will support it. Now, I don't actually think that chucking hedgehogs onto bonfires or nailing squirrels to trees is an enormous national problem. I didn't see a great deal of it when I came to the studio this evening. But if it is a problem, and if it happens, then I'm very happy to support you in preventing it.
I think we're actually in danger of getting off the point here. We're trying to make light. Let's get back to it, Nick. And the problem is that people going out riding to hounds for the sole purpose of chasing an animal that isn't, I don't think, that much trouble in the countryside. If it is, then there are surely better ways of culling it. And even if you have to go hunting with hounds to cull it, fine. But let's not make it a spectator sport. Surely you cannot justify making the killing of animals a spectator sport.
So the pest control officer who happens to enjoy it is doing something immoral, but if he doesn't enjoy his job, he's not. That's a stupid argument.
James,
Did you not hear what I said? That's not at all what I said.
Well, I heard exactly what you said, and what you said was that farmers don't think that foxes are pests.
John.
And you're wrong. 80% of them think that they are.
James, my bill allows for pest control. That's the issue.
No, it does not.
My bill does, and if you read the bill,
I've read the
then
bill. It certainly does
will
not.
find it does. It's in the bill itself. And the fact of the matter is that fox hunting does not reduce the population, and all fox hunting is for individuals to enjoy themselves. In the hunt in my own area, in December, there was a quote
You've
in
been
the local...
hunting, have you?
There was a quote...
Have you been hunting?
There was a quote in the local
obviously
newspaper,
not.
which one woman said... She didn't want to be named in the paper, but she said, what happened to the fox was incidental to her entertainment. Well, I want to stop entertainment such as that when we go into the 21st century. And 80% of the population are behind us on that, James.
Over half of British sheep farmers...
All right. One last word. We're running out of time. Nick, you can have the last word, because I don't think you've got much chance.
Over half of British sheep farmers name hunting as a method of control they choose to employ. Why shouldn't the farmers be given that option?
The NFU are not against this bill. The NFU are not against this bill.
I tell you what, on the last bill, you abstained on the last bill. You didn't even take part in the vote. You were going to introduce another bill until a few days beforehand. That bill was taken away from you. That is well known in Parliament. And you decided to introduce this bill. And the reason you're doing it is because you think you're going to pick up a few votes.
Let's hear last word quickly. Go on.
I am introducing this bill because I've had association with the League Against Cruel Sports ever since I went into Parliament.
Why didn't you vote on the last bill,
and the majority of members of Parliament, we are interested. And let me tell you that as members of Parliament, in a representative democracy, we're reflecting public opinion, 80% of which are against fox hunting.
Nick Herbert, John McFall, both of you, thank you very much indeed. We will come back and talk about this. If you have any views, please drop us a line to the James Wales Show, 5 to 7 Carnaby Street, London, W1. Thank you. I'm sorry, I wish we had more time, but unfortunately we didn't, and that was massively over as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the very colourful Mr. Baz Ballingboy! Here's Bazzy!
Just when I was wondering, James,
coffee.
What kind of audience would go and see Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers? Well, I've just seen one guy who'd love it, I'm sure.
Natural Born Killers, what's wrong with it? I thought we had some coffee.
What's his name? Nick Pratt or something? Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
What was his name, that young man?
Nick, come on, don't be nasty.
I'm not being nasty.
Well, Nick Herbert.
Just wondered where he went to school, that's all.
But some people do get their jollies doing that. Listen, and...
Well, there you go. Well, that's why he liked
stopped.
Natural Born Killers, which I have already said on this programme before, is the most morally repugnant film I've seen in a long time.
But people are going to go and see it.
People, of course, they're going to go and see it. I have to say, as much as I dislike it morally, it is beautifully made. It's shock edited. It's like watching MTV on acid.
Let's watch it. Here's a clip from it right here.
Let's see some.
All right. I think we should get a whole bunch of stuff because I need a whole new wardrobe. Because I'm a new woman now.
All right.
I'm a new woman!
You're a new woman!
that seemed to me to be some kind of strange sexual deviation that I haven't yet tried.
And it's about the softest scene in the movie, actually. Most of the film...
I know, we didn't feel we wanted to show any of the other scenes.
Quite. Most of the film is occupied with, you know, decapitations, shootings, stabbings, you name it, natural-born killers has got it. Someone was making the point earlier that Quentin Tarantino wrote the original script for this film, and Oliver Stone threw it out the window. But I have read Tarantino's original script, and that is a much safer, what can one say, more acceptable script. This film is just obscene. What Stone is trying to do, he's saying that the media are responsible for the violence in our society. But frankly, what he does, he takes this movie, gives us bloodthirsty scenes, and expects us to accept that as caricature. Well, it's nonsense.
Isn't it worrying? I mean, is it worrying? I don't know. Going back to, there are a lot of people who get their fun going around terrorising.
Well, it frightened me. That conversation before this frightened me, actually.
But could you say some of the people who do this now, who go around, and there's a guy sort of hidden away at the back of the audience there who said he was in favour of that sort of thing. Go and watch these movies. It'll be a big movie.
Look, it'll be a big hit, but, you know, it doesn't mean it's any good, does it?
No. So you say don't go and see it.
I wouldn't break my neck to see it. However, I would break my neck to see a film that also opens this week called Quiz Show. Robert Redford's latest film is an excellent film.
Did
also
he direct
about
that as well?
Yes, he did.
Oh, right.
He's not in it. He directed it.
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes is in it, who's just opened as Hamlet in Hackney.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should do something Shakespearean one night. You,
Yeah,
me,
we
Gary, and
should,
Jerry.
yeah,
We'll do that.
yeah.
And
I wanna be the
Will
moral.
in as well. Hey, she keeps coming and hogging your part too. I don't believe
That's
that.
okay. I'm
You don't
happy,
mind,
I'm
do you?
happy.
I'm looking
I
at
can't
it.
believe it.
Go
I
and
can't
see
believe
Natural Born Killers. I'd be interested to hear what you think.
Okay. Right, let's have some music. These are the Strange Attractors, and this is called The Last Shoe War.
It's written in flaming words of fire, in letters nearly 30 foot tall. See it on the face of the expired, and on the blood in the toilet wall. It runs the streets of our Las Vegas. Whatever it wants it now. It's brought an end to an old alliance. It's got a seething sacred cow. Bush is gone, we've no regrets. Noriega was made to sweat. Oliver North, CIA. I gotta get new shoes for Revolver. It's got no friends, got no favors, corrupting everything that it sees. One tiny scratch and it's contagious. You carry in the big disease. Every somebody's skull and shirt crushed us and wound up there. When the cold cops hit the tarmac, it stained the shoes red. Bush is gone, we've no regrets. Noriega was made to sweat. Oliver North is a CIA pan, and I've got to get the shoes for him out. I said to Spanish boy, hola, he said. I said to him, hola, he said. I said to him, hola, he said. I said, je suis le casse, yet a bridge.
Strange Attractors. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Strange Attractors. Last Shoe Wars. Now for Kookie's new series of in-depth political interviews. She starts this week with Jerry Hayes. Well, thank you very much indeed. Right on to the competition we go. And which of the following is not a mammal? Is it a whale, a fox, or a belly dancer, or a whale? No, it's a blackbird, a whale, or a belly dancer. Forget the fox. 0891 48 49 50. 089. It's ballet, not belly, Mansfield. It's. I said belly. Oh, we got a belly dancer coming up. In fact, in the next part. Yes, yeah, we have. Actually, that's lucky, isn't it? OK, so if you'd like this holiday for 2 people on the Canaries or the Mediterranean, all you have to do is 0891 48 49 50. Answer that question. Call us anytime up until midnight on Sunday, as many times as you like, and come right back after the break. Hey! Here. Get in here. Get in here. Right, we're just going to start. Anything you need to know? You all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
You're sure?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you want me to do?
I just want you to behave yourself.
You do?
Yes.
Otherwise?
Otherwise you'll be in big trouble.
Will I?
Yes.
Okay. Shush Shoo, isn't it?
Shush Shoo, yes.
Shush Shoo. Okay, fine. We'll do that. Right. You're not nervous, are you?
Not yet.
No, good. Okay, fine, fine. Everything's what?
Everything's pinned in place.
Good. Well, don't let it fall out. That's what I say. Right, okay. Now, oh, God, excuse me. It's a knackered radio mic for a start. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please really welcome, and this is cultural. This is cultural because it isn't smutty. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. This is very nice, artistic, beautiful, attractive. Please would you welcome performing a number that is traditional. And a beautiful lady. She's half Brazilian, half Polish, which I think is a good mix to be a belly dancer. And her name is Shush Shoo. Ladies and gentlemen, hey!
رحتم بالسلامة يا عيني رحتم بالسلامة جيتم بالسلامة يا عيني يا قلبي السلامة رحتم بالسلامة يا عيني رحتم بالسلامة جيتم بالسلامة يا عيني يا قلبي السلامة جيتم مريتم ملابسنا لكن ما زرتونا جيتم شفتم كل اصحابنا لكن ما شفتونا جيتم مريتم ملابسنا لكن ما زرتونا جيتم شفتم كل اصحابنا لكن ما شفتونا قلنا يا عيني جونا جونا وما لعونا قلنا يا عيني جونا جونا وما لعونا يعتب قلبي لكن والله ما في بقلبي ملامة بالسلامة يا عيني رحتم بالسلامة جيتم بالسلامة يا عيني يا قلبي السلامة رحتم بالسلامة يا عيني رحتم بالسلامة وجيتم بالسلامة يا عيني يا قلبي السلامة يا ولي الله عليك
That was lovely. Oh, that was, you know, I've seen some belly dancers and quite often they're sort of slightly over. They were entranced. Look at them, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. They were, shall we say, sort of slightly, exactly. And but you're not belly dancing. You're not Arabic, are you?
No. I still look Arabic.
Yeah.
I'm half Polish and half Brazilian.
Really?
I was born in the East End.
Sorry, I'll use the mic. I'm getting my hands are sweating here, talking to you. This is Joe, by the way, new cameraman, hasn't been on the show before, and Joe's Polish too. Can you say something in Polish, Joe, or not?
I don't understand that one.
Don't you?
No, never mind.
Bang it. Oh, OK, fine. It's a shame. But you're 34.
Yes.
You said you're quite proud to admit that you're 34.
Oh, yes.
Unattached.
Yes.
And open to offers.
Yes. I'm going to get killed.
You earn, it says here, quite a lot of money, but you could earn up to £300 to £500 a night for a spot if you were to not be as pleasant a dancer as you are.
Yeah, that's those dancers like all dribbling men, touching them and all that.
Yeah.
And then they go on the table and do all this, but they don't wear underwear.
Really?
I don't have to do that because I'm more classical.
You're very... I mean, excellent. Yeah. Dribbly men. You see, I'm going to get my own camera on the next show, I think. So you can see dribbly men. There's Gary and there's Jerry and there's Baz over there. Dribbly is the... you say that you can tell the difference between a good and a bad belly dancer.
Yeah, because the good belly dancer will shake her shoulders.
Yes.
But the bad tacky ones will shake their bazookas.
Right. OK. Show me, go on, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, OK. So you only shake your shoulders?
No, well, obviously they will shake, but...
Your bazookas?
The shoulders.
Yes, I see. And could you just show me the stomach before we go? We've got to just how you move that. How, it's. Oh.
Yeah, but yours will be bigger, mine.
Yes, exactly. Don't you let it get away with it. Don't you let it go with. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please, what do you think? Shush Shoo. Lovely. Thank you. Oh, dear. Well, I dropped my lid. Right, OK. Am I doing you now? Yeah. OK, sit down.
Letters.
Letters? What letters?
Letters, isn't it? Letters.
Oh, I'll do letters in a minute. Oh, by the way, we had a letter that said, and I don't know where Shush Shoo wrote it herself, it said, "Hi, James, could you please feature some sexy belly dancers on your show?" In fact, she was so good, I'm going to ask her to come back, because I thought she was really nice.
Do you think she might want a job as a House of Commons researcher?
Well, I mean...
She had great potential, I thought.
She's the sort of girl that you guys have in the House of Commons. Absolutely. Oh, should I rephrase that?
No.
Have working for you? No. Now, James, it says here, I wrote this on the script because I wanted to give you your chance tonight. OK? James discusses the bizarre contradictions in the government's public pay policy. You've got a couple of minutes now to make us feel that it's OK to offer nurses 1%, maybe 3%.
But we're not.
Just a minute.
Right, okay.
And it's perfectly all right for the heads of civil service to nearly double their salaries, have an extra £30,000 or so a year. Now, I could understand that, by the way, if they could get jobs elsewhere. I don't think any of them could probably get a job anywhere else. But you have a couple of minutes now to justify that in our minds.
In our minds.
Please, off you go.
Well, basically, it's not the government giving the money. It's actually the pay review bodies, which are totally independent. Yep. So nurses... No, but it's all parties of agreement with doctors, nurses and teachers they want, because they feel they get a fairer crack of the whip with a pay review body. And nurses aren't going to get 1%. They can get up to 3% and more if there's local pay bargaining. Same with teachers as well. They've got about 2.7, 2.9%. There's no contradiction. Yeah, no, Baz. Hang on, Baz is warming up there. Yes, they have actually. By the time, yes, they have been told.
Sorry, Baz.
Yeah.
I just want to see him squirm for this bit. Let's
hang on. I'm not squirming at all.
No, keep him on.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
the teachers
Baz.
at my son's school don't seem to know about that.
Well, I don't
so
think
please
they
do call them. I'll give you their
They
number
do.
after the show.
There's a pay review body that the government has accepted. There would have been an uproar if the government didn't accept the pay review.
OK, fine.
You want to get to the civil service?
I want to get to the civil service. How can you justify these top people who refuse to come out and be accountable?
No, not true.
They do.
No,
I can't get any of them to come on this programme and be interviewed.
Because
nothing.
But if you ask
they're
James,
not allowed to.
No, if you ask,
don't hold my
I'll write
hand.
to Mr. Burt. I'll write to Mr. Burt. You've got to be fair and kind to politicians.
I don't work
not
at this
abusive.
moment for Mr. Burt.
But you might want to.
I might want to.
You might want to. But the fact of the matter is, at the moment, top civil servants cannot lose their jobs. They cannot lose their jobs. And what we're saying to them now is, you are now going to be a short-term contract. You're not going to go there for the rest of your life and get your knighthood and end up in the House of Lords or whatever.
Scrap the honour system.
No, the honour system's very popular in this country.
Scrap it. Get rid of it.
I heard
it's a waste
that you
of
were
time.
no,
I don't want one.
Are you sure?
Carry on. No, I don't want one. I've done it now.
Wouldn't you take it on behalf of Mike Mansfield?
No, Mike Mansfield can have his own. I don't want one.
Well, we're getting Mike one.
Do you want one, Baz?
I've already
He's a
had one
prince,
on,
for
actually, in my own
God's
country.
sake.
Oh, you're a prince,
He's a
of course.
prince.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
that. At the end of the day,
I don't want anything from any Tory government.
We've allowed him to get out of answering the questions again.
Pay review body, totally fair, totally just. It's what people wanted. There's always a row over public sector pay every year. Civil servants, short-term contract, could get sacked, never got sacked before, so they're going to get more. Hey, come on, Baz. I didn't interrupt all your film reviews.
Hang on, last question.
I will next week. I will.
You didn't interrupt me.
Last question, please.
What?
A very, very quick answer to this.
What?
Are you, as a politician coming up for re-election fairly soon...
Well, 2 years.
Well, 2 years. Are you happy with that decision?
What decision?
Yes or no?
What
the decision, the public pay thing for the nurses and the civil... Are you happy the way...
It is an independent body which the government accepts.
Are you quite happy about it? Are you happy it's been put over to the public? Ah, ha, 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 ha. Fine. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Hayes.
Thank you.
OK, now the man who gets all the... What? Oh, fine, OK. Now, the man, if you've got a little problem at home, you've got a problem with the next-door neighbours, a problem with a car, you've got a problem with somebody else, you need some legal advice, but you can't afford it because of what the government have done with legal aid, and that's another story, then this over here is the address to write to. Excuse me, sorry. OK, shift your... right. Oh, right, that's it, good. The James Wales Show, and by the way, could we have that bigger next week? Because I don't think that's big enough. MMTV, 5 to 7 Carnaby Street, London, W1. Right to Gary Jacobs. You like my braces? I like these. I'm going to start like Larry King and the belt, just in case they fall down. Right.
Belt and braces.
First letter to you, Squire.
Well, we've had a very interesting one along the lines that you were just talking with Jerry. Somebody wants to know if it's possible for him to sue the gas board, the electricity board and British Telecom on the grounds that he is paying money under false pretences because he's not paying for a service, he's paying for enormous profits that are being taken by way of the share schemes and everything else by the so-called managers.
I think he should sue the flipping lot of them.
I'm afraid to say that I sympathise with you, but there's nothing you can do. You have to accept... We have to accept that it's a government issue.
Tear it up?
No, I think I'm going to keep that one.
Okay.
They think that it's good policy for there to be an open market. It's amazing how we don't get a say in that market. But there you go. You can't sue. I'm very sorry. Somebody wants to know, now this is a silly little problem, but very important, the immersion element in their hot water system blew in the flat, which they rent.
No,
they repaired it.
Imagine if that happened to you, that could be annoying.
If it happened in the winter, it could be very serious. But the landlord, when they sent him the bill, wrote a letter saying, well, it's part of running the flat, it's down to you to pay it. In fact, there is a law, this government does have some good laws, there is a law that landlords who rent premises with immersion heaters and gas heaters, that they are obliged every year to have them tested and examined to make sure they're safe.
Supposing you have one of these landlords that you can never find, never does the repairs, is always away, never gets them
They are not supposed to be able to do that anymore. They're supposed to have that information available so you know who they are. If they do that, then I advise you, although it's technically wrong, don't pay the rent, they'll soon come running. When they start taking you to court, you then go to court and say to the judge, who will be more sympathetic to you, here's the rent, I've kept it, I only held it back because I wanted repairs to be done.
Good point to make. Never, never spend the rent that you withhold.
No, never. Always keep it, because then the court would have sympathy.
Thank you. OK, next point.
Well, the next person, I don't know if you want to deal with this, but I'm going to.
Go on, then.
Agrees with me 100% about what I said last week. They say that we have reached a stage where we have to work out what is the lesser evil. Is it racism or those who fight racism?
Yes, well, we had a lot of complaints about you last week.
No, you never had one. You had lots of letters the other way around.
No, I think we had one man who rang in 500 times, and he was very upset about it.
Yes, I know. We've got somebody here who's dealing with something I spoke about some months ago, who has worked out, after listening to me, why he is being persecuted. Because I dealt with a person who felt persecuted and said that after 13, 14 years, you should really stop it. You're never going to resolve it. This person has listened, taken it on board, but says they're going to continue to pursue to the ends of the earth the people responsible for their persecution.
Good.
Daft.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Jacobs. Thank you, Gary. OK. Now, all right, have we got some more music? Because I thought we could go out. Look at his little face. Look at his little face. Can you do it to my theme tune? OK, that's lovely. No, that's wonderful. OK, we're back, same time next week. Until then, have a lovely weekend. And